Next shift.
Guards don't sleep. What are you talking about?
He would be second shift, so he'd be at 10 o'clock. He's actually getting ready to start his shift.
Good.
Given his knowledge of the surrounding terrain, he's on the patrol route.
Okay.
When the goblin told us about the shadow, did he do it in such a way that I would think that the individual announced themselves as a shadow, or was it a name that he gave it?
The goblin ascribed the name the Shadow to him. Whether that is the name he was given, that was unclear.
When we first met people below, that weird guy was hiding in the shadows before trying to talk.
Henry?
I don't think he's smart enough
George.
to be able to
Henry.
pull something like this off.
Henry's
Not gonna lie.
somebody not in this world.
What?
Yeah, I'm like, I have no idea who Henry is. I'm looking at my list and I'm like, I don't have a Henry.
Kind of
I think it's from
the
another
bodies
campaign.
and then handed off to goblins.
Without getting caught?
I mean, if some rando dude was able to find a hole in the security.
Yeah, but he's had a background in dealing with stuff like that.
You just hear from behind the door. No, I haven't.
Ken Balmer.
Work at a board.
Yeah.
That's his background.
No, he had a background in petty theft.
Oh, bank account.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
His
he's got
official
he's
job
got
was morgue.
Yeah. His extracurricular was sneaking around stealing stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, so going back to the goblin, are we letting him go? Just track him back to the hobgoblin? Since that's who we need to find?
Well, if we track him back, we need someone who can
That is
translate for us, so we'd have to bring Theodore, or maybe someone from the mines who speaks Goblin.
Yeah, convincing that involves pain.
Not too bad. You should talk to them from the mines. You need to talk to them anyway. See if they know anything about this. Ask Olahern about it.
The guard kind of looks, shall I go fetch him?
Yes.
He nods, knowing where the patrol route is, head straight out.
You said he should be beginning, or
Yes, the patrol route would be the one that kind of walks around the walls, keeps an eye on stuff.
I thought you were talking a patrol outside. That's
No.
why I was like, we gotta go get him.
Yeah, no, he'd be getting started and be doing walls and watch duty because he knows the folds of the land, and he's kind of the resident expert. You could treat it as like a sergeant.
Yeah.
So,
Are you doing the circle?
yes. If you want Zone of Truth, you're redoing it. You're just like, I know how to
man,
get
I'm
it.
becoming an expert in this. I should like start shaving off.
That's what I was about to
time.
say. Like, does it? After several times, is it like?
It's
take
not a
9.5
proficiency
minutes?
thing for 10 minutes. It's if the ritual is done properly, it is 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because you must hold
Eventually,
this
whole
for
room
exactly.
is just gonna be a room of Zone of Truth.
If you
After
cast
I
it enough time,
find
it's
out.
just permanent, right?
So,
365
after a while,
times.
Ogahem comes in, does a quick salute to the guard captain
Yo.
or guard commander, and steps in. Can I help you?
Little spiel.
Yes. He steps in.
Okay. Willingly.
Yep.
All right. Do you have any knowledge of an individual named the Shadow?
Negative.
Seems
That's
legit.
the hobbit we typically trained with.
What was that?
A goblin was found trying to reach the walls by tossing stones over and meeting someone inside.
The
Goblin
traitors
called
are
it-
here.
Yeah, the goblin referred to it as the shadow.
He kind of wrinkles his brow, thinks over the moon cycles. They're early this season. They would have needed to book it across the plains to get here. They would have moved with some speed.
Well, it's just one.
You found a goblin.
A goblin, yes.
There's not just one.
That is very true.
Pardon my intrusions, but I am aware that he is in some way, shape, or form one of their whelps. In other words, a smaller goblin.
Yep. So these.
He's here on a delivery mission.
Yes. Have you dealt with these goblins before?
Yes.
What are they delivering?
Delivering? Usually they bring various trade goods from the north. They pass by here on their way to the giants in the south.
Okay. Maybe we
Where
need to just
they would
roll.
typically buy stones from us.
Okay. All right. How long do they usually stay in this area?
When they would come at their normal time, they would stay about a week.
Okay.
Replenish their food supplies in the area.
All right. Do you have anybody to speak Goblin to them?
I do speak Goblin, yes. Fluent, no. Passable, yes. But
Is there
their hobgoblins speak in common.
Okay. Well, you're gonna have a fun day today.
Aye, sir.
So I'll look into the rest of the group. I say, well, apparently this guy's got more dealings with these hobgoblins. Maybe we just need to just go talk to him.
Yeah, and if they see him, they
Especially
recognize
trading.
him,
If we can set up
and
a
they
trade
would probably be more willing to talk.
I guess with
if
that,
he's here
just
with
bring back
us, if they recognize him.
Exactly. So, how do you feel about talking to some goblins today?
Knew today was going to be fun.
That's why I like
Does he have any idea why the goblins would go off their schedule and like book it here?
He is completely bewildered by that. I mean, you can give the standard, well, maybe anything he would say would be pure speculation based on whatever comes to the front of his mind.
Anything that particularly motivates them? Like any
Money.
particular item? Money?
There's a lot of money to be made in the giant kingdoms, or so they were told.
They use
Remember,
organs and
you all
such
saw
in
that.
there.
Oh yeah, no, I understand.
He doesn't know. He never ventured there, and they only dealt in stones.
Didn't Theodore tell us that?
Theodore did, yes.
Okay. So, did they usually come to you, or did you go meet?
They
them somewhere?
would be in the area. There was a chance encounter with one of our scouting patrols where they were odd to see Northmen this far south.
Okay.
At which they set us up, and their typical method of signaling us would be to chuck stones into the mouth of our cave.
Okay. All right. So
Didn't
I'm
know.
going to take him downstairs.
Yep.
I'm actually telling you this.
Oh, okay.
We're going to take him downstairs. I'm going to fix what damage we've done to the goblin. Have him discuss that we do want to trade with the goblin. That we're sorry for hurting him in different circumstances, and see if he will take us to the adventures.
Does he keep up with the people that are in the cave with him?
Oh, yeah, they still all keep up with each other.
Any of them acting strange recent times?
Just George, but George is what George does.
Okay.
One second.
Does George
It's a long
disappear around night?
Disappear on that? I haven't seen him in 4 or 5 days.
Is that normal?
George is one of the vagrants.
Oh, he's dead then?
You guys know this.
Oh,
No.
it's never come up.
Well, you don't know him by name because the body was thoroughly mutilated and the skull, by the time you saw it, had been...
Anyone particularly?
Well,
hate
the
George?
guard had identified them all, so
The guards
Are the-
identified them as the vagrants. Not all of them knew him by name.
okay.
Does anyone particularly hate George?
In our group, no. We identified him as special and that he had his uses.
Well, I'm sorry to inform you, but the murders that we're investigating, George happens to be among those bodies.
That would explain his disappearance. Given the description of the body and
Oh no, I would not.
No,
know
no, no.
that. Oh, okay.
him describing George to you, you would identify it that George is the survivor. Or the one who was not immediately killed in the melee.
Okay.
In other words, in the melee of 4, George won.
Go George.
And survived at least a day?
No wonder
after
he
the-
Survived
uses-
a day, couple days before died of unidentified circumstances.
Did George come? He hasn't seen him Precisely.
Yeah, no.
All right, well, let's take care of our goblin problem first.
So if we want to ask
He
if
does.
George has been acting strange before he died, would we ask if he's been acting normal lately?
Yes.
The guard
So-
kind of ponders that. Yes, that would be a proper way of phrasing the question.
Alright.
I have yet to see George be normal.
So the guard that went and got him, obviously,
Yep.
his rotation.
He's due to be rotating out, but yes.
Please tell me his name one more time.
Which one?
The orc.
Orc Olgahan. Olgahan.
Actually have that.
All right.
Did George or anyone of your group ever do any sort of paintings on the cave walls?
George was known to on occasion, yes. He would come in with various muds that he had trucked up from the base of the stream.
How did he do with that?
You sure it was mud?
Yeah, I don't intend. I don't intend to berate the deceased.
All right.
We'll call it passable.
Okay.
The stick figures were properly identified as stick figures.
Just curious.
All right. So
We never did identify what the smears were supposed to be, though.
I can take a crack at it
Probably
now.
for the test.
All right. So go ahead and leave to the basement.
Yep.
On the way, I would like to talk to the gnome.
Gnome is, you're gonna have to go to his quarters if you want to find him, because he is not. It's before lunch. He's has no reason to be in the kitchen, which is where he lives most of the time.
I'm going to knock on his door then, since it's probably right across the way.
Yeah, on your way there, you knock on the door.
Silence.
Yes.
I just want to let you know that that goblin's still alive in the basement.
I have resisted my lower urges. Yes.
Thank you. I wanted to let you know that we are going to be attempting to meet with this caravan.
You hear cackling laughter from behind the door.
Would you be interested in participating?
Define meeting.
Well,
You hear the sharpening of a blade.
If you want to talk to him, don't bring him up.
We suggest having dinner with them.
No. Just straightforward, tell him that Oglahan.
Yep.
Yeah. Oglahan has informed us that he has dealt with trading with these individuals, and we are going to talk to them, see if we can't get in a little bit more information around the area. Maybe set up a trading route, form some allies.
More cackling from behind the door,
That's
as if
fine.
you have told him the most hilarious joke he has heard in a very long time.
And that's fine. But if things go awry, giving you an opportunity to have some fun.
He then you just kind of hear the laughter die down as
Do you want to come?
Can I make things go awry?
No.
That was a redundant question. Of course I can!
I kind of look at the group. I really want him to go.
No, I don't like
Okay,
it.
never mind it. Well, because having him means not dying. Yeah,
We're all fairly decent level.
it's fine, but it's easier with him.
The
Anyway.
gnome that might attack us.
Anyway,
They might attack us on side if we bring him, considering how
that's fine.
afraid the smaller goblin was.
That's fine. Moments pass. My offer's expired. Sorry. Thank you very much.
Let's see. Before we go, try to fix
Watch
my
out for kill 'em
crossbow.
all.
What?
Before we go, can I try again to fix my crossbow?
You would need a day, not a small time. Hair working.
What was wrong with the crossbow again?
It's broken.
I mean,
She dropped it from a
Crits
tree.
fail.
is it something
Don't go
that
trees
Mending could help fix?
Uh,
Like it was
Um,
cracked or
It's not cracked. It is broken in multiple places because the crack led to a catastrophic release in tension, as crossbows are held in permanent tension.
So it needs like things replaced on it.
Yes. Multiple complex parts have been damaged.
So you just need a new crossbow.
How
Yeah.
difficult would it be to
Possible to
get
buy
a new crossbow?
To get a new crossbow?
Yeah.
You need to get a new crossbow.
Why?
If you don't have a woodworking or any
No
form of
industry.
industry set up.
Yeah.
Well, no, you guys have you always have a stone mason set up.
I tried.
Yeah.
All right. So go to the basement.
Yeah.
How's the goblin?
So there's two creatures down in the basement: the goblin and the barmaid.
Oh dear.
The barmaid appears to be attempting to teach it tricks like roll over. She appears to be moderately successful at this, as she gets it to roll over and then just chucks a piece of food with a really high arc, just to see the goblin. The goblin is also only moderately good at that.
Making friends, I see.
I'm going to tell my sergeant that inform the goblin that we are going to be untying him, and we fully expect him to cooperate. And if he does cooperate, no harm will come to him.
You see him kind of get off, or the goblin is getting off the chair. The goblin ease you're hearing from the guard, while broken, seems a lot more formal and a lot less taunting than that which the gnome was using. While it still hisses and wheezes, it's as if something where it at least sounds kind of formal.
Mhm.
The goblin kind of looks at you, looks over at the barmaid who's giving you all a pouty face.
Sorry to take your pet.
I was just training him. But the goblin kind of nods, and the guard, with your approval, begins to remove the manacles, return them.
Like, it was just basically just a scratch all the way up the finger. What?
Yep. It didn't go too deep at all,
Like,
but was
did it take
intentionally
hit points?
designed.
Did it take hit points?
No.
Okay, then I ain't worried about
It was specifically designed to touch on pain points around the joints and expose as many nerve endings as possible, such as to be as painful as possible.
Where I'm going to relay it through the orc, but
Yep.
inform him that we would like to set up trade and talk to your leader.
I apologize, sir. This is verbatim the response I'm receiving. Trade food?
I don't like that. Do you know what? Can you ask him what type of food? Animal food.
the-
Yes.
Verbatim response I am getting is food, yum, yum, food.
It's like speak with animals.
It's that weird little gray area.
Again, he repeats to you, this goblin quite literally means nothing to them except for carrying stuff.
I understand. But is this the individual that you usually deal with?
No.
Okay. Do you usually deal with a just whelp like this one?
A whelp would get our attention. We would often deal with the hobgoblin.
Okay. From your expertise in dealing with this, do you think this individual, and I explained how we found him and everything,
Mhm.
was trying to signal us for trade?
Yes.
Okay. Then inform him that we will follow and take us to his clan leader.
Yeah. The goblin, now freed and with those instructions, begins to kind of, in a very offbeat type of skip, begins skipping up the stairs, out the door. I mean, the goblin skip can be kept up with a slow walk. But he begins squealing in goblin as you are advancing through the city. What he is saying is trade food, good food, yum food.
Actually,
In repetition.
I would I'd like to grab, because his portion to mine, I would grab just a handful of just dried goods and whatnot to give to him so he can just eat along the way.
Oh, he'd be doing that in a very unceremonious of holding it all in his arms and head trade food, bits of food flying off as he's continuing. He never really stops his song or his skip, and as a result, food is being sacrificed to the pigeons or other birds that will pick it up.
I'm going to be taking 2 guards with us as well.
The mountain dwellers.
Okay, 2 guards in addition.
Little one.
Yeah, but 2 extra crossbow bolts.
In addition to Olgahan, or is he counting as one?
In addition to.
Okay. Of the gate guard, they have you guys wait at the gate for about 5 minutes for one of the patrols to come by, where you're then able to flag them down and say, "You two, you're with us."
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
So once we get there, who's going to be heading up this conversation?
Well, probably Mr. Goblin speak over here.
Oglahan's going to be ideal.
Olgahan indicates the hobgoblin speaks common.
Yes.
Okay,
I was
so
going
it'd
to
be
say
any one of
he's
us.
going to help us get to that point where we can talk to the hobgoblin. Along the way, before we actually leave town, I'm going to be asking him what do they normally trade, and
They would buy any small stone indicating to the size that we would offer. He kind of looks at the goblin, knows that the goblin can't understand him, but is still suspicious and lowers his voice. They were interested in the unlocking stones, I believe. We never sold them any, but they've always been looking for various runic artifacts, or he is suspicious that's what they wanted because they treated them as if they were Northmen and had no knowledge of such things.
Do you know if they have any of those unlocking stones on them?
We have no. They collect anything they can find that is shiny, stone, or in any way runic, and transport it down to the giants. So rather than reveal their trade, he believes they were just buying whatever stone they could, and what was decent they would sell, but they were really hoping for, oh yeah, no, that's totally a normal stone. We'll buy it at the normal stone rate. And keep finding more stones. If you find more stones, we'll buy those too. So he managed to conceal the unlocking stones from them, but he's suspicious that's what they were wanting. As such, they're like, with you guys having a formalized city, they're not likely to assume you're stupid as they had assumed he was stupid.
Okay. Alrighty. What do they usually trade in? Like, as in currency?
They would give us a barter trade. As part of their hunting in the area, they would give us various foodstuffs and occasional little bits of metal, weapons that they were able to barter with the northern men with.
Okay.
Typically, they would trade those to any random tribes or troll garrisons they come up against with once they approach the giants.
Okay.
Do you think that
Yeah.
the things that they typically had to sell would be applicable for us now? Or would it be all things that we could easily do for ourselves?
They are traders. The weapons would be the closest thing to what we can't get ourselves. Basic building materials, typically they would be loading up in that, but they could probably be convinced to trade it off if there was a profit. Again, I don't know why they're moving up their schedule. As such, it's possible they either didn't spend enough time in the Northlands, were driven out, or they're not going to have their full complement of goods, he assumes.
Do you think that it would be worth it on our end to trade with them at this point?
I have always been suspicious of their motives.
Even if it's not trading, it's just gaining information.
Yeah.
And if things go well, we might be able to have them be...
Oh, I missed a fact. On your commerce secretary would be wanting to accompany you. Anu, yes.
Okay.
She's the one she's in charge of your...
setting up trade.
Yeah, she is in
Okay.
charge of your government's finances.
That's fair. But I would let her know that
Can defend herself. She'll stay back with the guards as in control of them.
that's fine. unfortunately, I would tell her not to come. If she met me at the gate, whatnot, I'll have this conversation with her.
Yeah.
Right now, these people, it might be a waste of your time coming out there. If we can set up trade, I will have them come closer to the city. We will come get you, and then we will talk to them again and have trade.
She looks up to the guards, and she mentions she'll set up in the guard tower where she can have an overlooking view.
Sounds good.
But likely won't see you. But if you're coming back, she'll be able to come out with a guard compliment to me.
Perfect. I'd rather that happen than anything else. So
She nods,
um,
locking eyes with just each of you, just kind of making sure you know she's part of this too and runs it.
oh yeah, no, yeah, kind of. Anyway,
She is part of the leading merchant house that funded your guys' voyage.
All of it. And Mandate.
yeah,
There's also a fair chance that this could end.
go south, and the last thing I want to do is have.
I advise her. By the sound of it, they don't have anything worthwhile for us anyway. We're probably going to have to wipe them anyway.
She nods.
So, all right.
That's why I asked about whether the trade itself is worth it. It's not so much to not meet them or not try to work with them, but so we know what our
Yes, and by the answer, it didn't sound we have much other than much.
Well,
Get
That's fine. I'm not necessarily worried about trade with them.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about, not worried, but I'm more interested in getting them to set up trade to other more sentient things for us, letting them know that we don't mean them harm, and potentially gaining allies, but at the same time, they might just
I
sort
have-
themselves out.
one problem that causes concern for that. If they know that we have a city now, if they tell the Giants that we have a city up there, the Giants are going to know that we have unlocking stones, or have knowledge of unlocking stones, so we may want them. And I do not think we can stand up to a giant raiding party.
Nope. That's true. I agree with you, but we don't have to tell them we have any of that sort. I mean, just because we have a city does not mean we have any access to magic.
That is a correct statement.
Okay.
The Giants are generally unaware of the. Well, the Giants, if they wanted to, could definitely have come up and colonized the northern bit. They have resisted doing so for some unstated reason for thousands of years.
Okay.
I mean,
Despite the fact there would be no real opposition
I'm
to
going
them
to
doing that.
keep my unlocking stone hidden under my clothes.
Oh, they don't
I
need
mean,
to accompany
We all
you.
have unlocking stone.
I understand.
I don't think
I
They-
know that,
not-
but we don't keep
They
it
do
on
not
us.
need to accompany you. They stay up with the main ring.
Okay.
That's
I
what
thought we had them on us.
Nope.
No.
I was like,
Mine is
No, we
buried,
got the god signs, and I've got like 30
Yeah.
just hanging off.
mine is buried
Chains.
15 feet under the puckle fund.
okay.
It's not a bad idea, to be honest.
Molder, Dunk. Molder. Done.
So, all right. All right. So we're on our way.
You guys get going down the.
Again,
Goblin.
I was going to be leading this conversation with goblins.
Yes.
I got a decent charisma, so
I suck at charisma.
I'm technically the diplomat,
I mean,
even
Yeah,
though
I
I'm
think it's got to be him. He's the diplomat. We looked at him.
even
true.
though
It's time for him to do it.
I'm
Alright.
in
Alright.
real life I'm the least charismatic out of all.
So,
It's okay.
I want perception checks all.
Perception checks on.
Ooh,
I cannot
that is
roll.
a 23.
15's plus.
Nope.
As you guys get approaching, you notice the first thing that's off is that there's no animal sounds. Now, there is still the loud chanting of the goblin who, food trade, good, food trade. Food trade, good,
That's
trade
as
food.
Good calling,
Yeah, right.
calling card as any as we approach.
I would make sure that my guards do not fire at the first thing that jumps out at me.
Yep,
You said that was the first thing you said.
20's plus. You kind of being toward the front, you immediately start to see small movements in the grass where there's kind of a light breeze out, but some of the grass isn't moving right. And there appear to be figures approaching you in the grass. You can count 10.
There's about 10 figures approaching ahead of us. probably the other goblins.
It's kind of as you guys are advancing forward, there's a small group just kind of starting to converge on where you're going to be.
Okay.
You're gonna be
Probably stop short of that.
having a conversation with them.
Well, I mean, as soon as he tells us, I'm going to stop.
All right, so you guys kind of
My
bring the
stats
party
says
down to a
yes. My
a
heart
stop.
says no.
The
I
goblin
understand.
continues on for a step or two before looking back at you. Food good, good trade, good food, as is interpreted by.
Oh yeah, no, I've figured out his tune by now.
Yeah.
We all know one.
By the end of
sentence
this,
in
I should
Goblin
speak
by now.
Goblin.
We should know the word food in Goblin.
Yeah, right. So,
As soon as he lets us know that there's people around,
Yep.
I'm gonna go up and touch him on the shoulder and cast Enhance Ability.
Ooh.
All right. Pick the ability.
Eagle Splendor.
All right, that's charisma.
So you have advantage on all charisma checks for the next hour.
Yay! I appreciate that.
Yeah, in conjunction with my inspiration, I can use them.
If you had any.
Yeah.
So,
Unfortunately, long rest.
yep, you guys only need 2 more days for a long rest. So, you guys kind of stop. The figures you're able to see kind of hesitate, then continue on. Then with hesitancy, you see another goblin kind of come out and repeat the statement that the skipping goblin was saying. To which the skipping goblin
and then I'm
chucks a
going to
dried
repeat-
ration at him.
I'm going to repeat the same statement as well, to the best of my ability.
You then go ahead and give me a performance check.
Oh crap!
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's a no. Performance.
insulted
That's going to be
their
a
mothers.
3.
Fud what dud 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 fud what dud dud.
I mean, I've heard it like 80 times. But
Yes,
okay.
but getting the exact hissing enunciation, a hissing enunciation of versus those are different.
Two very different.
They're so totally different.
And then maybe that's a different one as well.
Yeah.
Goblin is just hissing and hard enunciations.
I look at my sword and say, please tell me I didn't just insult you.
No, and these are goblins. I think it would be hard to insult them unless you enunciated the words food and bad.
I got maybe close to that. Anyway,
But so the goblins,
I think you might be in the ballpark somewhere.
you then
Based on my
begin
own
hear the
performance.
chant spreading throughout the grass as about 10 other goblins kind of come out, and the goblin who has the food is feeling extra benevolent, is just kind of chucking it into a pile in the middle, and they're just all there just lapping it up, gathering it.
that's a lot more food than I was thinking.
Well,
Give it up, man.
There's
You
some
gave him
pretty
like a small little
guys.
handful.
To
them,
Voldemort asked why they had to move up their schedule.
These are all the dumb goblins.
Okay.
You're not going to get anything from them.
Take
But
us till we don't need that.
They after the small little buffet that is them lapping up berries and stones in the same gulp and chewing on them, spitting stones at each other.
Yep.
They then kind of wave for you to follow them, and you see 10 of them just tear off across the grass.
Why not? Let's go
Moving.
for it.
Diplomat.
About
All
40,
right.
40 feet per, so just a slight jog for you guys to keep up.
Okay.
The kids are not with me, FYI. Correct?
Okay, we need to go back and retcon them. They're intending to come.
Oh God! Just bring them.
Fuck
Screw
it,
it.
they're with us.
Screw it.
Okay, I'm like, they're...
They want to see how it's done. Let's do it.
This is the greatest thing ever. They're outside the city, saving the city
Yeah.
from the great shadow.
Yeah.
They've got a supervillain.
Oh God. Alrighty. So
They're back with the guards, kind of hanging a little bit back, but in front of them because we're real adventurers too.
Yeah. Alright.
So, you guys eventually get to trees, and then in common you hear the words, "You can stop moving now."
Well, all right.
Stop
then.
moving.
Yep, the goblins kind of disappear into the tree line. Food. As you see 2 different hobgoblins step out from behind trees wearing very fine chainmail. carrying shields that appear to be heavy kite shields and short spears. They kind of look at you. They see Olgaham, at which point they begin speaking with him in Goblin.
Bad taste.
Whose pizza?
Olgaham kind of looks to them, replies in Goblin. They turns to you guys. They're just inquiring as to who you are. They've not seen you before. I've told them it's okay for us to engage with Common, and that nods off to your character. Will be leading any negotiations and discussions
Can I
here.
borrow your dice real quick?
You want to?
Oh, you
Sarcasm.
can't have your dice.
Let's see. What damaging
You'll
spells
never
do I have?
roll a nat
prepared?
20 again.
All right, so
Double that one.
neither one of these fits the description of the leader hobgoblin, but the one who is on point. You've given our grots food.
Yes.
What is it you want to trade?
Some information.
Information
Yes.
is a good long not traded on these plains. Of great value to the south, but in the north, no buyers or sellers.
Well, we've heard that your leader's been contacted by some shadow, and we wish to learn more about this person.
He sees that you are all very well armed, with a guard complement. Why should we trust you to invite you into our encampment with your arms, armor, and weapons of murder?
Because we have stunning personalities?
Also,
What's the highest?
16.
16?
also, I'm not armed at all.
Yeah.
I literally have no weapons and just some basic weapons.
Is it in that 20?
They look at you. Good enough for us.
Yes! Yes!
I saw.
Yeah, they have a nat 1 for their
These aren't weapons. They're fakes.
No.
They're all sticks that we just painted and they look like weapons.
Tell them that there is a mutual distrust amongst each other. We make sure that we don't pull ours if they don't pull theirs.
Well, they already said it was good enough.
Yeah, I understand
They have
that.
spears. They're attacked with them.
I mean, I have spears. Which point?
But so you guys they lead you in. There's a small little encampment of about 25 different grots, goblins just around, singing, running around a campfire. Food good, good food, yay food, yum.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So, you guys see that kind of out of a tent, you see a large large, not physically large, but bigger than the others. The clanking of bones kind of as he's got them strung together, running down along his arms, legs. You could vaguely call the garb shamanic, but it does appear to be covering something metal as you hear metal moving.
I do have a question for Ogawa.
Yes,
Yeah.
Olgahan.
Ogahan. I need to know what these entities considered insults, so we don't do it.
Stabbing.
He's never sought to insult them, but they're very martial in tendencies.
Okay.
Even if they don't think they can fight you, if you make it seem like they can't fight you, they are then obliged to fight you.
I got you. Okay.
But so he kind of gives dirty looks to the two guards who have now escorted a fully armed platoon of the locals into their encampment. But seems to just be like, well, it happened, so
Well, it happened. Well, it's okay.
All because of
there's
our
no use
charming
trying to correct it
personality.
right now. Can I help you?
Yes, I am Gallon. We've heard that you've had contact with someone who goes by the Shadow. And
You see him kind of wave his hand and commence casting a spell. The spell completed.
I was gonna
You
say,
know Arcana.
I was gonna say-
yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
oh, what is he doing?
that's actually good. 18.
12. Are we doing Arcana?
It is Arcana.
16.
He is casting. Let me see. Trying to remember the exact name of the spell. It's Sense Emotions.
Okay. I'll let it happen.
Go ahead and make me a Wisdom saving throw. It's single target. He's picked you.
You said it's Sense Emotions.
Yes.
I'll choose to fail.
Okay. That does allow him to probe the. Well, sorry, not Sense Emotions.
Oh.
Sense Emotions is the older version of it. Sense
Sense
Thoughts.
Detect
Sense-
thought.
Detect Thoughts. There we go.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right, so you elect to fail. He casts Detect Thoughts on you while you're talking. Continue talking.
Alright, we would like to know how to contact him and how to find him, if you would be obliged to.
We're traders. We ply these routes. Why do you need to talk to us?
Because we heard that you have had contact with this individual, and we have no way of contacting him ourselves.
This individual. He's talking. His indication is that you're talking about Olgaham.
No. Someone that one of your runs have
Oh,
referred to as the Shadow.
we met him. He came to us.
Do you know who he is? Or where to find him?
How to find him? Yes, I can give you that info easily.
We would much appreciate that information.
He kind of motions to a small chest of herbs he's got. You use these before you go to sleep. You sleep, and he comes to you.
Would I be able to roll investigation without getting too close to see what those are?
Go for it. Nature check.
Oh, nature? Okay, that's a no.
Okay, you have
That's a
no
4.
idea what herbs are in there.
I'm there. On my roll
I mean, he
nature.
pointed to it.
Oh, that's much better.
Druid.
Am
Well,
I able to see
Yeah,
that?
go for it.
Modified 20 nature check.
Okay. So you identify them as medium strength hallucinogens.
Oh, that's
21.
Medium strength hallucinogens
Oh, I need to vote.
can
That's
be.
worth trying right there.
They would be used in rituals to induce visions.
I'm going to whisper to you guys, should we ask about the sex?
Yeah. Why not?
It's a yes, a no. What about
I mean, why shouldn't we?
Why not?
These guys want something in return for this connection, more information, plus the ones going to ask for.
Well, I mean, I'm planning on setting up trade routes with them.
I have this information you're looking for. Detect Thoughts is still live,
Yeah, on him.
Yeah.
and he's the one who asked,
Yes.
should I ask about sex?
That's true. Yeah.
Well,
He doesn't have your reasoning why yes or why no, but he's like, do we want to ask about this? And he's like, I know about them, yes.
Right. Would he be able to divulge about that they've been coming from our city?
They have been, yes.
What are in the sacks?
Trade goods.
Body
You
parts?
ask a question you know the answer to. Why am I being interrogated?
Well,
I mean,
we
you did
never confirmed.
No, but you strongly suspected, and basically there was no other option.
it. I was just trying to confirm it.
For what? We don't have to prove anything to the jury. We are the jury.
Yes, but having the exact knowledge is better than speculating. That's all. Yeah.
Right.
I I'm not gonna lie to you. I just tell them the situation we're in and why we're here.
Yeah.
There's been a murder here at our city. And
Several.
There has been more than one.
There's been a murder.
There have been
Yes.
several murders in our city, and we think this shadow is related to him. Hence the body parts coming in the sacks to you guys.
We were able to identify at least half of them as coming from already deceased corpses,
Yes.
as there was violence performed to the organs.
Yes. We just honestly want to have, who this individual is and converse with him.
Do you wish to spend the night? He indicates he can do a shamanic ritual that he has used to contact the shadow.
Is there any means to have him up here?
Physically?
I know what he's saying.
We have never met him physically. Even the Grots only spoke of a dead drop location, and then knowing the right spot to go.
It's a lead. We should probably take it, or at least one of us.
That is true.
The dream is doing that.
Well, I'm just meant the communication part.
Yeah.
I mean, unless we can get him in a physical realm, not much we can do here. Us talking to him and then information. Yes, but at the same time, it's in his domain.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an alternative?
Not that I can think of.
So,
Would you have us as guests for the night?
Absolutely.
Could I insight him?
Yep.
I know, he was waiting for it too.
That's a 12.
That's also a 12.
10.
Yeah, not.
It seems legit.
Jesus.
It's a 4.
10s plus. He seems to have an ulterior motive, though you're not able to pin it.
Let's see, they do in trade goods, so.
Would we be able to tell if it's malicious or?
Malicious in the non-immediately stabby sort of way. He doesn't intend to stab you more. You can tell he has plans for you. That is the better way of saying it.
Well, you can tell that he has plans.
Anyone with
That's-
10s plus would know he's letting you stay because he has a reason to let you stay.
I lean
Is the
over
reason
to
because
our
we
guy.
gave
I don't know
food
if it's a good idea staying
to the
this
grunts?
campsite.
Is the reason because we gave food to the grunts?
He has future
He's
plans
gonna
for
do
you.
it
Were you
slaves.
asking him?
Yes.
Yeah.
The note was
No.
captured by him for a while.
But even more of a cat pee.
Plan on
They still traded him from one dealer to
Yeah,
another.
having
it's not like they did.
more trade in the future with our city.
I did not hear the
He was
question.
just kind of.
I was asking him
The
if he
slave
had
that everybody passed
plans
around.
to have more in-depth
Yeah,
trade
that's
with
what
the
he said
city.
to other
What
people.
goods
Why
are you
would they-
looking for?
Why wouldn't they trade more? Take us captured for
Turn to
payment
our-
to pygmies or
Leader,
giants or whatever.
what specific goods are we looking for
Right now, we are looking
to try to set up trade with them, if we want to?
They traded stone.
I'm not gonna respond.
Well, they were asking us what kind of trade goods were we looking for, because I was asking them if they planned on setting up trade with us in the future, because we know he had some intentions for us in the future.
Relaying that information to me, I'm going to step forward and talk to him, if that's okay.
He sees you step forward, acknowledges you. You guys are still
Nice
roughly
proper
20
bow.
feet from him.
That's fine. Proper bow. I am Sevros. I am the captain, guard captain at this city that we've established. I would like to set up trade routes with you in exchange for safety and
You're asking for something I'm not going to provide. We are not a mercenary company.
No. I'm sorry, you misunderstood. The last thing I would want, I would like to set up trade routes between me and you, our city and your tribe, and any other tribes out there that would be interested in such.
I can be convinced for suitable profit to do many things.
And I'm more than happy to set up that.
What
profit
is it
for
you need?
We need building materials.
You're sitting on an entire mountain of them. There's a quarry nearby.
Yes, that is true. We can access a certain amount, but more the merrier, right?
The giants will not export building materials, though possibly could be convinced with sufficient coin.
Very well.
If it is security you need,
It's not security that we need. It is the guarantee that if our scouts come across goblins of your clan, they're not going to shoot on sight. And
we
vice
return
versa.
yearly. We will ensure not to harm any Northmen we see here. Centermen? Middlemen. Middlemen. Mountainmen.
We're the middlemen. Shit. That and dealing in any arms.
Northmen have surprisingly good metal forging capabilities.
What would you be interested in trading?
Typically, the Northmen deal in shamanic ingredients.
Would we have a use in shamanic ingredients?
Do you have a shaman?
No, we do not.
Do you enjoy the dissection of bodies?
No, we do not.
Do you have need to reach out to forces that are beyond this world to awaken entities beyond your comprehension?
Yes, that would be great. I'd love to talk to Cthulhu. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I like that.
It was actually.
Oh, I know.
You know.
Well, out of character.
Yeah.
It was in this.
Oh, yeah.
And he's evil.
So,
What are you in need of?
us? Money.
Is there anything else you're in need of? Unfortunately,
That music.
I have no idea why that just happened. That was my Pandora. No idea. Anyway,
They gave you a response.
Anything else we're in need of? How many of your population can you spare?
They're slavers.
yes, I got that. Unfortunately, we don't deal in slavery.
Slavery is not what we are interested in.
What are you interested
Vagrants who won't be missed.
Oh, well,
Unfortunately-
those are already dead.
in? Unfortunately, you've already got those, bro.
We are looking for live individuals. Awakening ceremonies can be expensive.
Understand. Unfortunately, we don't have bodies to provide. If there is anything else, we have gathered the information we required for today.
At this point, his head snaps to the left, over to where the goblins are, and they're all. You see the one goblin kind of up on a stone talking, and the other goblins kind of staring in terror. What is this gnome you have? There was a chance die that the goblin mentioned him, and the goblin just did, telling stories to the other goblins to frighten them, and heroically mentioned his deed of leaving the city with an armful of food. And he's proudly showing the mark on his finger.
The gnome is
He is bad. Get rid of him. He brings nothing but bad luck to anyone.
What's bad about him?
He is bad luck. I don't know why. I don't know how. He is immune to any of our rituals.
Alright.
Grot started disappearing when he was around.
What started?
Goblins.
Small
The
ones.
younger goblins, the dumb ones.
Yes, it seems
We
that
sought to use him for our own purposes. We acquired him from the Northmen. They gave us a bargain. Never told us why. We parted him off to the giants. Gave them a bargain. Didn't tell them why.
That explains the serial being a prisoner issue.
Oh yes, we kept him under tight watch. Didn't change a thing.
Does he seem completely truthful and all that? I rolled an 18, so.
He seems more deadly serious than you seem to think he should be. He is hiding under his steely demeanor, he is hiding a terror and a madness within himself, such that he almost wants to storm your city single-handedly for the sole purpose of murdering that poor thing.
Good thing we didn't bring him.
Yeah!
I wouldn't have this knowledge. Sorry. Anyway,
They have no idea what it is about him. No idea what it is he does. He was under watch 24/7 as they got him to the giants, and nonetheless, just bad things would happen. And it wasn't his guards that would disappear. No, it'd be a grot that would go out on a gathering mission. He'd be collecting roots, and then he'd be found under the tree as if the tree had swallowed him.
Okay then. The murders that have been happening near us have been
before we got there.
yes, before unless he planned this.
Did you even know we existed?
We don't know that.
We're going into like some
We know
hypothetical stuff
he's
now.
a much more adept spellcaster than any of us.
You can trust him. He will do good things for you. You need to get rid of him. We won't be taking him.
Has anyone tried to kill him? I'm asking.
We chose not to, though I can't give the reasoning for that. Because you say it, it sounds good,
Yeah.
but it was never an option considered at the time.
He honestly seems more interested in food than anything else.
Oh, he loves his food. No, you're speaking in common. The goblins at this point are still telling their horror stories.
Maybe these things happened because you didn't like your food. Persuasion. Oh god.
Are you trying to get them pissed?
Well, you avoided in that one.
Yeah. 15.
So
I would rule nothing out when it comes to the gnome.
Alright.
I'm having flashbacks to Stapleton all over again.
Alright.
well,
Remember.
And now to
I'm
quote the
the
chat, all hell the gnome.